despite its size. So I'll tackle it piece by piece. I'll start with the rollout. All right. So are you rolling, Drew? Am I good to go?
Yep.
All right. So to kind of start, similarly to Bagel, the rollout for this is going to function identically in terms of starting buffs. So soldiers, you will both preserve your crit heals at the beginning and get 300 out the door. Okay, so no pocket rollout for this one, Snorlax. The Demo Man rollout is going to go as such. You get him to 260 and get him to the doorway here. One thing to keep in mind also that I should point out before I get into this is that this map is not mirrored along a diagonal axis. It's mirrored along a horizontal axis, which means that the cliffs are going to be on the same side, and that means that the rollouts are going to be mirrored whenever you're doing them, okay? So the entrance to China, your door is going to be on your right when you roll out blue side, and then it's going to be on your left when you roll out red side. All right. So just keep that in mind. That means because it's going to mean that that some sides are more different. So most people like to say that playing blue side on product is better because your pockets bomb is way easier because it's a right hand wall shot as opposed to a left hand wall shot. All right. So if you guys want to be like like little like gremlins and you want to ensure that you have like you're stacking the odds, you can pick blue team as soon as you make the server. I guess. You'd be surprised. There were a bunch of people who did that in IM because they were terrible at the video game and then they lost anyway. But
They can't wall shot?
I mean, it's just they were just bad. But anyways, yeah. So blue team's rollout is going to be easier for the sake of it. I'm going to go over the harder one. So yeah, so 260, you get to the doorway, and then you're going to want to put a sticky here, and then you're going to want to go around like this, and then walk through here, and then you don't have to, but you're going to want to put, if you want to aggressively roll out Snorlax, and you want to see if you can get some early damage on their Demo Man, and just try to beat him to the mid, when you waddle through here like this, you put another one on the floor here. Didn't put that low enough. You put another one on the wall here, low, and then you jump over Japan, if I can do this, T8 jumper. Jump over Japan and land here, okay? You're going to want to land behind the rock because in case their Demo Man does it too, it's a lot easier to just do this and then back off to not take damage, all right? So you land on the fence, and then when you're done landing on the fence, you shoot a pre-sticky bomb onto basically just the adjacent side rock. So you land here like this, and then you just do that, okay? So that's how you can get some early damage on their Demo Man. If you notice that he's slow, or just like, he's just waddling to the mid, you can immediately begin carpeting off Japan or Korea, whatever you want to call that. And yeah. Also, that reminds me, you guys don't, some of you don't know calls because you haven't played this before. So let me briefly go over this before I continue. But do you want, oh wait, Hyrule is not here. Okay, well, hopefully he understands what that is, the importance of that. Okay, so quick comms. They might differ a little bit to Highlander comms. So if it's called something different in Highlander and you know that it's called something different, then just, for the sake of simplicity, I'll just say what I know. So obviously this is just like spawn. It's not, it's whatever. Over here you have cliff, so you have bottom cliff and top cliff. And then you have this area here is called Dollhouse, or House, as it's also called. House. This area here, this bridge and like the little pocket here, this is called China. All right. This area here, I've heard it called both Japan and Korea. I prefer Korea because it's just more, it's more pronounced in my opinion. And then you have I forget, I forget if this is called Sheets. It's called something, I don't remember, but it's not really important. You can just say above Korea.
You call it North Korea?
This is, yeah, there you go.
North and south?
2 points. This is called concrete, and this is called grass pack. And this is called connector, or con. And then you have dog bread, which is this little like ammo pack here, and the reason for that is because of this. It's a loaf. And then you have Big Rock here. Obviously, this is point. And then you have Pride. This is called Pride up here. This is where soldiers who, get the buff, whatever, you guys are aggressively fighting for point, jump up there temporarily, get some temp spam on down another combo, and then back off, and then catch an arrow if you have to. Okay. So that's pretty much it for comms. It's a pretty straightforward map. If you want to go over like comms that are around the main area, this is main, right? And then you can call that grass door, and you can call that cliff door if you want to apply for the forward hold. This is a really common hiding spot for spies. You can call it hoop, and that's kind of it. And then you got cliff pack. Like, it's pretty self-explanatory. So that's it for comms.
I don't know. I don't know if this is a. I don't know if this is a thing in sixes, but they used to distinguish between like the left little way that you walk up and the way that you call Japan. Like they called one valley and they called the other.
Yeah, the valley. I mean, to be honest, I call this main, just because it's I see most teams rolling out through here. But I mean, yeah, Valley works. I have heard Valley before. You're right. Under China too. I've also just called this just under China because it's easy. But yeah.
Wouldn't that be a better call for Korea?
What?
Because it's under China.
Sure. If you want to call this Japan and that Korea, that's fine. It doesn't really matter. You guys can figure it on your own. But just the important thing is to make sure that you know that China is the little area up here, because this is where snipers are probably going to default to. That and cliff. Okay. So just beware of that. Someone said Seagull. That must be a Highlander thing. I'm not even familiar with where that is.
Oh, it's over to the right, like by
Oh, on concrete.
Yeah.
You talk about this or
No,
this?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in sixes, really, you're not going to see a lot of people playing up here. I mean, maybe because you can't high bomb on this map because of the train. So, you can get like the highest you can go is this. So, you won't really see too many people playing up there. I don't even know who plays up here in Highlander. I'm not familiar with the game mode, so. But yeah.
Like nobody plays that in Highlander.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for comms. It's not very complex. It's a Koth map, bro. Okay, so we went over the demo rollout, and then the rest of the team kind of follows the same path, where you will be buffing both your soldiers to 300, and then they will follow that same route that your demo man did. So they'll do one rocket off the wall into here, and then they'll waddle through here, and then they can jump to their respective sides. When I played Pocket, I liked to get buffs while I was waddling up here, and then do one rocket and play in China and get some info on height early by playing up here. Maybe see if their other soldier is playing there, get some spam onto their roamer who's playing in concrete, etc., and then rotating into my default position, which that leads me to defaults, because the combo is going to follow the same path. It's going to be both scouts going here, and then you guys can rotate up left here like this through Valley if you want. Personally, because my demo man, when I played the season that this map was in the pool, whenever he would get shot at, he would default to just doing this with his S and D key. We usually would rotate the beam up through here through Korea, just so that he can immediately get heals at the start in case he took damage. But if your demo man doesn't do that, or if he just does this and then just waits for y'all, it doesn't really matter which side you roll out. I would try to mix it up though, just in case just in case their demo man starts reading it. If you guys do the same spot over and over and over again, their demo man might just ignore your demo and just try to carpet you guys out, which makes your rollout slower. So switch it up every so often. It can literally just be as simple as like we're going Valley, or we're going Korea, and then there you go. For defaults, basically all your defaults in this game are going to revolve around your demo man being the one getting the spam, and then it's going to be both your soldiers looking to bomb off of that spam, and it'll depend what the Uber situations are, whether or not the Uber bomb or whether or not the soldier bomb will even be necessary. In general, the way that I like to play demo here is I like to basically kind of act like an artillery cannon and just not really worry about getting a positive sightline on the other team. So I really like to use the fact that this sticky bomb is just as effective as this sticky bomb, right? So generally your eyes and ears are going to be your soldiers and your pocket scout. Okay, so Drew, you have to be communicating with High Ruler pretty regularly to what side their combo is playing, so that High Ruler can literally either just do this or he can just do this. You know, but he's not going to know unless unless you call that. So if they're playing, you can say they're playing Valley or they're playing Korea, and then that to High Ruler should say, okay, I should either direct my spam left or my right. Doesn't really matter. But you'd be surprised how effective this is at just completely locking out a scout from being able to corner cap. Same goes for the other way around, where your demo man can pull up here if they're playing on Korea side. If you're on red team, you do this, and then boom. Like you guys can kind of visualize how easy it is for demo man to farm damage here, because it's a sloped hill. So he has Defilade, which is like the slope of a hill, to help protect him from spam, while also dealing all your damage. So you basically, like, your VIP for the mid fight is going to be your demo. Okay, Pocket Scout can farm too. Don't get me wrong. The only issue is that you need to be very aggressive if you're going to try to get damage in. Either that, or the other team needs to be aggressive and just basically like pushing you. So you have to just be careful. And that's not even going into the fact that if they have a sniper, your combo is very limited in where they can move. So yeah, you basically just don't overpeak too much. Luckily, Drew, you're familiar with how sniper functions on this map, so you generally know like where to expect a sniper while playing. So that's a good thing for you guys. You guys should take advantage of that. And Drew, you should communicate to the rest of your team where you think their sniper is going to be, or if you know if their sniper is going to be somewhere, because they might not. Right.
Snipers, at least when it came to Highlander, because the best spot, if a team's playing perma sniper, best spot is just Swell Cliff. And when I played, I would take an angle on Cliff, and I would look from the right of those cheats, and you can spot all the way onto past like on the left side of the rock if you walk up a little, and if our demo walks up too far, that's just a straight angle for the sniper. Normally, when I didn't see anything there either, I would just rotate straight up to China.
China, yeah. China and Dollhouse are two very, very, very lethal and good default positions for snipers to be. One obviously being because it's height and he gets to see everything, and the other one being because he can head glitch against your other team sniper.
Yeah.
The other team sniper. So, you just basically have to be careful of those two positions. And then Cliff, I would fuck around a little bit and go concrete as sniper to try to catch their roamer off guard, or their pocket soldier off guard if I was playing on blue team. It's a little risky. You're so far from like being able to see literally anything else if you go concrete, unless their team is basically just like walking forward like this on their side, because most teams are not going to walk past this at all. So basically you can pretty much only see Cliff and then like a teeny tiny bit of Korea if you're playing on blue team sniper. So but yeah, so keeping tabs on sniper is something that everybody on this team needs to do, particularly the soldiers, because your guys' bomb is basically what is the only way that you guys can effectively deal with that sniper, and it needs to be a double bomb, okay? Because there is no high bomb, both of you getting in is very, very important, because if you guys can't afford if one soldier's going in, he can't afford to beef because he doesn't have height to his advantage, right? He doesn't have the ability to just go above everybody else and then eventually land behind everybody or land on the sniper from high. Like it doesn't work like that. So you guys need to make sure that you're sending 2 soldiers to deal with the sniper depending on where he is, which that also needs to be communicated with whoever is spotting him, okay? So it needs to be fast because the sniper can rotate very easily from spot to spot. So everybody kind of needs to be listening to everybody when it comes to bombing and dealing with the sniper. Other than that, med, you can really just default to using this whole area, like in between these 2 sticky bombs, as your sort of just protection. The likelihood of taking spam from the other team's demo man back all the way back here is pretty low, because even if he's playing in his default, he has to still like kind of half charge his sticky bombs to deal with it, which means that it's pretty easy to read that you can just like walk to one side and ignore it. The time that really becomes aids to dodging that is if their demo man is coordinating his stickies and his carpets with what side his sniper is peeking. So if his sniper is peeking China and has really, really, really good visual here, he might rotate and lock out this, okay? Which means that, your team is forced to either clear these sticky bombs or rotate left to fight the point like this. which exposes you to the sniper. So you have to be very, very, very careful of where their sniper is, and where their sniper is, you have to expect that their team is going to be spamming the side like adjacent to where he is. All right, that's kind of how this map it functions in sixes, and it's why it's so shit, because nowhere is safe. Literally nowhere is safe. No matter what side you peek, like you don't really get a lot of breathing room in the combo, and it can be hella stressful because there's the fucking insta kill point and click class on one side, and then there's fucking 900 damage worth of spam waiting on the other one. So you just have to be very, very, very careful.
Yeah.
So kind of like I'll move on to how to deal with the sniper after that. After you
Okay.
say whatever.
Yeah, on this map, historically, I've actually had a lot of trouble with Demoman running default launcher because the hill just directs all the pipes behind the rock or to cliff pack. It's been kind of problematic, but I don't know. I'll work on it.
So when it comes to you guys dealing with a sniper, obviously I already stated this, but soldiers are going to be your sort of spearhead for that. Do me a favor, Mons. If
Yeah.
you know that there's a sniper, just don't walk up these fucking stairs. It is not worth. You risk yourself too much. The only time you can ever really walk forward and try to get spammed is by hugging the left here, and even then, if their sniper is aggressively peeking China, like forward on the balcony, you are still a target. So never really walk up just like blindly like this, because this is a really lethal sightline.
Okay.
So you just have to be careful. The best way to deal with a sniper if he is on cliff or something like that is getting to here and making sure that you don't expose yourself to the sightline. So don't walk right like this, because yes, the sniper can see you from here. Okay, so if you're gonna walk to the right and try to get to like the right side so that you can set up a bomb like this, you just have to be very careful and make sure that you don't, walk so high that your head is exposed to the sniper from here. So
Yeah.
I would recommend just doing this and then just doing this.
Yeah, if you
and
just
then you're
move
safe.
close upstairs, you aren't spotted.
Yeah. Other than that, another bomb that you can do that doesn't risk any exposure is from back here. Just be careful. This is all displacement here. So if you see tap like that, sometimes it can get fucked. So you could do one off the ground here and then one off the wall there to get deep. Just make sure that it's a distance wall shot. Oh, did they add clipping to this? No, I must have just tagged that. But yeah, you can do that. You're basically like TLDR. Your bombs, Mons, need to start and try to like conceal yourself for as long as possible until you just have already reached like the most velocity that you can off of your bomb. So if that means like starting from like all the way back here and whatever, and then doing this, like it is what it is, right? Like you may not get the best distance out of it, particularly because C-taps are kind of fucky on the on grass here, but that's also a bomb if you want to try to get in like that. But yeah, you're gonna have the hardest time bombing, to be honest, if there's a sniper in play, just because it can be tricky. It can be tricky to set it up, and like I said before, you don't really have height as an option because this is clipped, so you can't
Is
go
there any
above
place to stand up there?
it. No, there are no wall bugs or standing
Weird.
spots, as far as I know, at least. I don't think there is. Okay, so that's your general game plan. If they aren't running a sniper, this whole area is kind of just your free reign. Just exist on concrete. Play to make sure that they don't shove through your connector and try to get behind. While also simultaneously, if you see an opportunity to, you can walk forward and try to get some spam onto their whatever, and then reload. Your fast bomb onto their team is again, your bomb is actually easier on red team, but it's you can do it from all the way back there like this, like I showed you before, but. I'm trying to think of what the other good bombs are for Roamer. There's not really that many. I think if you're on concrete, you can do this. Yeah, you can do that too.
You can also land up on behind Japan, or like by Korea. Behind Korea, and
Yeah,
go all the way
yeah,
back to the
you-
house.
The good thing for Roamer is to try to get behind, because I mean otherwise your bombs are pretty much just going to be directly into their whole team. So the way that you bomb their sniper is, first off, if he's on cliff, you cannot be the first one bombing. All right. you need to let your
I'm just
pocket
gonna go
soldier
body
do
shot.
that. Yeah, because you're just going to either get body shot or headshot on the way up. Because this is like, you know, if the sniper is competent, then that's not going to fly.
I'll just pull up the
So-
contractor button.
And get banned.
That'll work.
Look up.
Oh yeah, if you look up,
Yeah, just look up.
Yeah, that'll work.
you'll get body shot.
It's also quite difficult for you to just get the distance out of here to get all the way to cliffs. I actually don't know the jump off the top of my head because I never played Roamer on this map. I'm sure there is one, but I
It
don't,
might be I think it's a
really
speed shot
know it.
back from grass.
like up the ramp. You mean like this?
No, I
don't
mean
know
I mean
it.
like from grass and then speed shot on concrete.
No, not really. I like I said, I don't know the jump myself. I mean, there might be one out there. I think Marmaloo has a guide for this map that you can look at. Yeah, no, I mean your goal is basically just if the sniper is in cliff, you want to let your pocket soldier do it first, which that'll be this. So pocket soldier, your job is a little bit easier because you don't usually have to worry about a sniper peeking concrete. It can happen though, so obviously just make sure that make sure that there is a sniper called first before you decide to peek. Okay, so make sure that someone else spots him first. Because instead you might accidentally risk just thinking that it's safe to spam point and then getting shit on from concrete. In terms of how you bomb to deal with the sniper, your job is a hell of a lot easier because you have pride at your disposal. So when you get up into your defaults, into your default position, if the sniper is called China, it's a pretty simple just left or right hand wall shot depending on what side you're on off of pride, and then not sucking ass and then getting on top of it like there. I don't play this shit ass class. Bro,
You almost got it.
fucking noob. You get the idea though. You just do that bomb. Yeah, the Jesus Christ, fucking 5th time's the charm. Yeah, so that's your one bomb. It's even easier if you are on blue team and the sniper is playing cliff, which is also a pretty common spot. Because then when you come up here, all you have to do is instead of committing onto China, you just do this and then you just wrap around and land on top of him like this. Only thing you have to be careful of is if their soldier is playing up here with him to defend him. It can happen. Yeah, it's not super common, but yeah. So. Fuck. Yeah, but like I said before, you basically if the sniper is playing cliff, you need to be the one to initiate the bomb on top of him, and then Mons needs to try to kind of get in through whatever means he can. The good news is for you, Mons, is if your soldier bombs him first, if
He's
you're
not looking at me.
he's not looking at, yeah, exactly, he's gonna stop looking at you, which means that you have a little bit more leeway to actually like walk forward and get up on top of cliff. In terms of other classes to look out for, I mean, obviously the Pocket Scout is going to be looking to see if one of the soldiers is trying to commit onto his sniper. So he's going to try to kind of act as a babysitter. Like if you guys have played Highlander, you know how Engineer is basically the babysitter for the sniper. Pocket Scout is kind of looking to try to like pseudo do that. And it'll depend on what class is actually swapping to sniper on the other team, which the two classes that you can realistically do it on is... Roamer and Flank Scout. I'll let you guys decide which one you want to do, but if you decide to swap your Flank Scout out, luckily your soldiers can play it normally. You'll have both your soldiers to just play it normally, which means that realistically, it shouldn't be as bad. But the only caveat to that is, you have now one less hit scan class to deny their soldiers. So if they're running 2 soldiers and not running a sniper, it can be a little dicey having only 1 scout to help deal with that. That's where you kind of have to. That's where you kind of have to basically like play around your sniper a lot more, because if you only have 1 hit scan class to help deny soldiers, the soldiers aren't going to bomb your medic; they're going to bomb the sniper, right? Because they know that they can't really be denied that easily. So yeah, it basically is it just changes how the combo needs to play. So Drew, if you have your flank scout, if you have low fire, whoever swap to, if you have low fire, whoever swap to sniper, you need to be expecting where your sniper. Well, you first off, low fire needs to be communicating where he's peeking, and you need to expect soldiers in the sky bombing him. And there are kind of two ways to go about dealing with soldiers that are bombing your sniper. The first is to just kind of leave him out to dry and use that as a way to be able to push and cap point. If both of their soldiers are bombing your sniper, that to me says, okay, they're down 2 explosive classes, right? And since our flank scout is the one that's on sniper, we have 2 explosive classes plus the rest of our combo pushing point against potentially, a sniper who, we're obviously going to want to push forward if their sniper is dead, and a demo man and a pocket scout. So they don't really have a lot defending point. So yeah, so the first play that you can do is basically just like walking forward based off of the soldier bomb. Again, if they're running a sniper, that only really works if their sniper is either dead or pressured by your soldiers or whatever. So, you can kind of figure that out. That's going to be situational for you guys. But, oh my God. But yeah, so you can either just walk forward and try to cap point and just pressure their combo out, or maybe get the force or whatever, just like apply forward pressure. And then, after you guys establish space, turn around to deal with the soldiers behind you. Or you can play anticipating their soldiers are going to bomb your sniper, and then kind of having your scout play to help deny it, and have your sniper sort of like playing to get ready to like bait. So he'll peek, take a shot, and then, bait to a safer spot or rotate to another position. Like when I was playing product sniper, even if I was farming, I was not staying in one spot for more than like 2 shots, because that's going to give the other team any longer than that, any more than that is going to give their soldiers enough time to triangulate me and then rip a bomb. And they don't really need buffs to deal with a soldier. So, to deal with a sniper. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when I always played this map, even in just Highlander, but it's kind of similar. You just take a couple shots, then rotate.
Yeah. You kind of have to treat it like how you would if you were a real sniper, where it's like, if you take too many shots from one spot, the other team's going to adapt, and then, instead of calling artillery rounds on top of you, they're just going to send their soldiers instead. So, yeah. So, kind of goes over how you want to play around your sniper. Demo Man doesn't really change other than what I mentioned before, which is just rotating his spam to the opposite side of where your sniper sightline is, right? So you want to basically try to lock out both sides of the point simultaneously so that your scout can walk forward and corner cap. If their soldiers decide to basically say fuck it and completely ignore your sniper and not peek him, that's even better for you guys. That means that he can now kind of shoot down and rotate between spots on the point uncontested, which means that your guys' corner capability should actually be better, because now you don't basically have to worry about you basically don't have to worry about one lane of the mid, being contested at the same time as the other. So yeah, definitely, if you notice that their soldiers are just like straight up not bombing your sniper, feel free to get a bit more aggressive and have your soldiers walk forward to help spam point more. Like if your sniper exists, he's a one-man army for one side. That means that your guys' pressure onto the opposite side of where the team is going to be should be like doubled. Does that make sense? Because the other team is going to be forced to peek the other side, right? And your demo man's already going to be spamming this and trapping this and whatever. So if you can get your soldiers in on that action and spam them completely out, they basically have nobody to contest the point. The only people that they have to really help spam the point would be their soldiers, like their soldier up here on Pride and whatnot. Which, if he's not bombing the sniper, this is free pickings for the sniper, for your guys' sniper. So, yeah. In the event that you guys decide that you want your roamer to be the sniper, it gets a little bit more finicky because you're down an explosive class to contest point with. So realistically, I would only have Mons play sniper if they are running one of their soldiers on sniper too, okay? Otherwise, I would default to it to being your flank scout, just because I think it's easier to adapt to not having a flank scout than it is to adapt to not having one of your 2 soldiers, conceptually. So that's how I would run it. That's my recommendation. If you guys find that if you guys find that having Drew play fucking sniper and then having Lo-Fi take over, it just is like the soldier denial class works, like just do whatever works for you guys. But generally speaking, what worked for me and others is just having flank scout be the default, come up sniper. Like Yum Yum is really good at sniper on product. Eric, when he played it with Banny, was really good on product as sniper. And both of those guys are flank scout players, so it works. It works by having your flank scout swapped, and just from having watched better players do it, it seems like it's simpler. So might just be easier for you guys to grasp. Anyways, yeah, so that's generally how the mid fight's gonna go. You either have a sniper and you guys play around him, or you don't have a sniper and you guys play around. Making sure that it's like a spam battle for point, which is basically like, it's like take the bagel like house control method of like owning a house and spamming point, and just drop the houses part of it, where you're gonna have 2 soldiers on both sides of the point spamming, looking for an opportunity to either get behind or walk forward and spam point so that you guys can corner cap. Way that I like to put it simply is like, this map is a mix of bagel, with it being your soldier spamming point, and clear cut with your scout being the one to walk forward and corner cap and then dodge spam while having your soldiers support him from height. Okay, and then product obviously has its own like gimmick with sniper being super viable, which is not so much the case on the other 2 Koth maps. So yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag of every Koth mechanic in one, and sniper kind of makes a lot of it trivial. So. Okay, so that's kind of how the mid fight goes. Let's go over the forward hold now, which I'm gonna be honest, the forward hold on this map is a little weird. It's not quite as weird as clear cut, where it's like almost fake, but it's odd, and that's all I'll say. So the way that the forward hold setup is going to go, there's a couple ways to do it, but the way that my team did it and the way that I'll teach you guys to do it is, basically, you are going to have your demo man be the sole conqueror of Cliff and locking out this entire doorway here. Helping him is going to be your guys' flank scout, okay, who is going to be holding up on China here to get ready to rotate and support the demo man in case like a player or 2 breaks out of here. He needs to basically act as like security to make sure that if they bust out of Cliff, if your demo man spam just isn't enough somehow, that he can get out safely without dying, okay? Because he's going to be playing forward here like this. So if they manage to jump a soldier through or whatever, or he fucks up his debt, he needs to have someone there to help him. So that needs to be the flank scout. As for the rest of the players, you will have a soldier playing up on top of here at top dollhouse, looking at main, looking to shoot rockets down into here to spam out their players that might be trying to bust through main. And then you're going to have a soldier, your pocket scout, and your medic playing on grass. Okay. If you want to say fuck it and have just like your flank scout solo main, which is possible because it's not a super common breakout area with how shit it is and how low on the ground it is compared to the other 2. If you want to have your flank scout solo main and have your demo man play to bait a bit more, that can work, and then you can double up your soldiers on grass, which is the most common spot to break out of the forward hold from. The only thing you need to be careful, obviously, is making sure that your demo man doesn't get himself killed. And that, if your flank scout spots people in main, that, your players who are playing on grass rotate their spam to there accordingly. So, but default-wise, it should be demo man and flank scout playing up here, soldier playing up here looking at main, and then soldier and pocket scout playing up here looking at grass doorway, with medic behind them as well, buffing both of these players at the same time. And I mean, aside from that, I don't really think I need to explain how the forward hold works. You just fucking lock the doors out and don't let them walk. It's pretty trivial. So that's it. In terms of busting out of the forward hold, I'm going to be honest, ignore going out of Cliff and ignore going out of main. They are terrible. They're awful, 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 awful breakout spots. They're too low, and Cliff, while it's higher than main, is a teeny, 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 tiny doorway being locked out by the 12 projectile class. So respectfully, fuck that. I know because I have gotten a metric fuck ton of picks while playing defensive, like forward holding demo man there, and teams just like walk into my sticky bombs and feed. And not only that, but he doesn't just have to lock out this doorway. He can lock this. He can trap this off that you guys might not be able to see by just doing this. If I've seen demo men like myself walk forward and trap this off if they see an opportunity to do so, and then deep spot it like this, and then if that fucks up, they can immediately restick this. Like, this whole area is just shit. I don't think I really need to explain too much about why. Main, I already kind of went over why that's ass. It's really easy to rotate spam from grass to here, and it's like it's the tallest door of all of them, but it's really low ground. So if your soldiers try to jump out through here and then try to take height, they're jumping into a scout, which is shit. So that kind of only leaves grass. And while this also probably doesn't seem that enticing, there is actually like a method to the chaos to be able to bust out,
Fucking
and that is
Christ, Spotify.
going pyro.
Stop playing the song.
All right, pyro is a little weird here, and it doesn't really matter who plays it. Again, probably going to be flank scout. Okay, but basically, what happens here is you can also have your soldier play it too, but I would recommend having both your soldiers. But the way that the breakout of the forward hold is going to be is you have your medic, and then you're going to have your pocket scout can also go pyro too, although I would rather have him taxi your medic to get out as fast as possible. But you have one of your players, preferably not a soldier, go pyro, and then you have your medic and your 2 soldiers walk up to the right, and then you have you buff up your pyro to as high HP as he can get. And then he actually stuffs this corner here and just reflects all of the rocket spam that's going to be coming this way. While that's happening, you have your soldier jump through the doorway behind him. So the pyro walks forward with the buff, does this, whatever, like spams flame particles to, block their vision, do what stupid ass pyro mains do. And then you have your soldier jump through behind him and just jump to get out and make space. While that's happening, you can either have your pyro walk back into spawn and swap back to whatever class he was playing, or just walk forward and establish the space. And then once you guys establish the space, go back and swap off. But yeah, pyro is going to be your best friend when breaking out of the forward hold through grass, which is the only real doorway to break out of. So I would definitely practice that.
Okay.
Pyro viable. Let's go.
The reason I was saying I would prefer it not to be a soldier is because it always helps while the pyro is doing his thing to have a soldier here immediately get followed up by just another soldier. Just have it staggered, right? That way you got this guy who was jumping forward first has less of a chance of just getting his shit pushed in, and the chance of you guys securing space and being able to deal with this guy up here on height just goes up exponentially, right? So 2 soldiers out of grass doorway is not the worst idea in the world, which in that case would mean that Drew, you would have to be the one swapping to pyro, and it would be pocket scout. While that's happening, basically, you have 1 flank player left, and that's going to be, it'll be your flank scout. He basically just looks for an opportunity to get through after you guys have already made space. When you guys bust out through grass and establish the space, the immediate reaction of these players, by the way, who are forward holding on China and their demo man here, should be to back up, okay? So Lo-Fi, if you want to look for an opportunity to maybe get in while your team is pushing out, you can look for a flank opportunity to get in through choke. Maybe their demo man is not paying attention. It's like, even if you peek this, right, and you don't just like full on walk at him, if he's staying there and paying attention, and you're basically burning the time that he has to be able to run back to point and live. So it's not a bad idea to see if you can potentially draw the attention so that a pick can get generated off of a failed leave with a forward hold, right? So I'll leave that up to you, but can kind of do the same thing in main, but it's just not as easy because of that whole shtick. But yeah, that's pretty much a forward hold. It's kind of scary at first, busting out of it. You guys need to make sure that it's pretty calm and collected when it comes to swapping to pyro. Drew, when you're playing pyro, if you are the one that ends up playing pyro here to get your soldiers through, you need to basically tell them to jump through, like because you're the one with the vision, because they're gonna be hiding around the corner with the buffs and shit like that and waiting for your go, right? So you need to be like, soldiers, get through, because you're gonna be the one that's gonna see that they're either backing up or whatever, and yeah. So that's pretty much it. That's product in a nutshell. There was some other stuff that I didn't really go over, like 4-man sacks, but to be honest, the 4-man sacks on this play exactly like how Bagel does, where if you guys are on disat at any point, you have your soldiers bait, get buffed, you can bring your beam to below like Korea or China, depending on whatever side you're playing on. If you're playing on red team, I recommend bringing your beam to below Korea, since it's pretty hard for soldiers to bomb you there. And just buffing up all your players here and getting ready for them to sack over the point. You can buff your roamer up while he's here, and he can do this, and then look to jump. You can buff up your pocket soldier here, and then you can do one off the ground and off that wall to get into your demo man. There's some crazy demo man sack text for 4-man. For example, if you bring your beam on red team back to Korea here, you can do this, which that's from complete safety, and it'll be slightly less damage than just throwing down 2 sticks and potentially skyboxing yourself like that. Some other really insane tech, which I was taught, is this. You come all the way back to here, which is super safe, and put 2 sticky bombs on the wall, and then this. Like, you can literally coast to coast it from deep. So, 4-mans are basically, they play the exact same to how they do on Bagel, but you can do them from way safer. So yeah, don't be hesitant to call it. Okay. And that's pretty much it. It's gonna be the same thing where your flank scout also plays to get in and try to clean up, even though he's the weakest out of all the 4-manning classes, and then you just bait through main if you're gonna bring your beam down here. Okay. If you bring your beam to grass, which I don't really recommend, then you just bait through whatever the closest doorway is. That's kind of it. Any questions about rolls or anything like that?
No, not for me.
I don't think I skipped anything, so.
Alright. I believe that's all done. Thank you, Babs.
Alright, cool. Yeah, good luck. This map sucks ass.